Have you seen the viral Five Below antique style mirrors for only $35? The frame is plastic and definitely looks cheap, but we can transform it for way less than the $750 price tag that you would have to spend by an actual metal framed mirror that looks the exact same. So my very soon-to-be sister-in-law just snagged 2 of these from Five Below for her wedding and wedding adjacent events, so we're gonna transform them. I'm starting with a base layer of black acrylic paint. It doesn't have to be perfect, you don't even have to get in the nooks and crannies, because we are gonna put Rub and Buff antique gold wax over it, because that's what everyone on TikTok is doing. If you get a little black paint on the mirror, don't worry, the acrylic paint will chip right off. You do have to be more careful with the Rub and Buff though, but we'll get into that. If you've never used Rub and Buff before, it is so cool and so satisfying to use. For this first mirror, I first went in with the glove and just grazed over the top surfaces, not worrying about the nooks and crannies. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff. Just put a little bit on your finger and spread. Now I'm using leftover brushes from my kids' birthday party goodie bags, if you saw in a previous video, to get in the nooks and crannies. Now, this took a lot more time than I thought. I wound up having to go back over all the top surfaces with my glove. So for the second mirror, I'm doing the nooks and crannies first. Highly recommend this, it'll save you a lot of time. Then once the nooks and crannies and all the hills and valleys are done, I'm going over it with my glove over the top surfaces. Do it this way, it'll save you so much time. I tried a Q-tip, I know some people do that, but these lines were just too small and too fine for the Q-tip, so really get yourself a very small paintbrush. But you can see how easily this stuff spreads on. Again, we want this to look like an antique mirror, so it's okay if some black is seeping through, so you don't have to go too crazy. That is what's gonna give it its authentic look. But really use all your fingers, get in there, really try to spread this stuff, and it'll look like this. At first glance, you're like, okay, it's just a mirror, but when you compare it to the orangey plastic of the original Five Below color, it makes a huge difference. It does not look plastic. It does not look like it was only $35. The coloring is up to you. My personal preference would be to leave more black showing, but the bride just wanted this a completely nicer gold, so I covered as much black as possible, but it's up to you. On the sides, I even left some streaking just so you can see the color contrast, really elevate it from that plastic. This went viral for a reason. Quick, cheap, easy DIY. Now stay tuned to see how we transform this into signage for her wedding events.